Today we are going to talk about good and bad habits. A habit is something we do all the time, sometimes without even thinking about it, like putting on our seatbelt when we go in the car or when we sit in our seat. That's a habit, something that we do without even thinking about it. Now, this little boy is talking to a stranger. This is a bad habit. Some children are too friendly and like to talk to a lot of different people. But strangers can hurt you too, so you have to be careful. Don't talk to strangers. That's a bad habit. Sometimes strangers would try to let children come close to them by showing children their pets or toys. So going to play with a stranger's dog is also a bad habit. Taking something from a stranger like candy or food and even going so close to a stranger's car is also a bad habit. You can't be too friendly. Sticking your head out of the window, that's a bad habit. Especially if the car is moving. You can fall out of the window. Having a baby on your lap when you are driving is a bad habit. This daddy here has the baby on his lap and he's driving. If he gets into an accident, the baby can be hurt very badly. This little boy is too young to be in the back of this van. He should not be riding at the back here. He should be inside in his seat. So this is a bad habit. But this little boy here is in his seat and he is practicing a good habit by having his seat belt on. Running into the street after your toys is a bad habit. Even playing on the side of the road. This little boy did not look at all and he ran straight into the street after his ball. This is a bad habit because you can get hurt. Like this little boy here who was riding his bicycle on the street. He wasn't looking where he was going and a car knocked him down. You must always look outside when someone knocks on your door or rings your doorbell before you let them in. This little boy did not look, and you never know if a stranger is there, someone who can hurt you. So you must never open your door for strangers. You should not play near the pool. This little boy is playing near the pool and he can fall in and drown. Like this boy here. He thought he could swim, but the pool is very deep and no one was around. Don't fly your kites near power lines. This is a bad habit and you should not be playing out here. Instead, you should be playing in a savanna or a park like these children where it's much more safer. Throwing your garbage out of the window is a bad habit. This is called littering. But throwing your garbage in the bin is a good habit. You are keeping your community clean. Wearing your helmet when you ride your bicycle is a good habit because it can help protect you. This little girl did not have on her helmet and she fell and hit her head really badly. Right? Not playing near the stove. Playing near the stove is a bad habit. What this little boy is going to do can hurt him very badly. Like you see here, he got burnt. So this is why we don't play near the stove or with things on the stove. Playing with matches is a bad habit. And using knives that are large like this and sharp is also a bad habit. This little girl is too young to use this knife. She can cut her finger. Sticking things into electrical outlets is also bad. We should not do this. It's dangerous for us. And playing with mommy's iron or flat iron or heater, all of these things that get hot is a bad habit. Pack away your toys. Packing away your toys after you use them is a good habit. This can keep everyone safe and it keeps your home clean. Look at this messy home here, and Daddy slipped on the dump truck. Look what's happening to him. So you must always pack away your toys after you play with them. That's a good habit. Sitting too close to the television is a bad habit. Some children love to do this, but it can ruin your eyes. Biting your nails is also a bad habit. Some people like to bite their nails all the time, but it can hurt you. So you need to stop biting your nails. That would be a good habit. Picking your nose is a bad and nasty habit. Some people like to do this, children too, but it does not look nice. And sucking your thumb, that's a bad habit. It makes your teeth grow forward out of your mouth, and no one wants that, so stop sucking your thumb. That would be a good habit. Fighting is a bad habit. We should not fight with our friends, brothers, or sisters. And stealing. Stealing is a bad habit. Even if it's just a cookie, that's a bad habit. You should ask someone first. Like this little girl here, which is our last picture. She stole a lot of cookies and she's lying to her mommy about it. So stealing and lying are both bad habits. Today we are talking about good habits and bad habits. All of us have habits. I have habits, you have habits. But what is a habit? A habit is something we do all the time. It is routine behavior. And sometimes we can have good habits and sometimes we can have bad habits. Habits are things we do all the time, every day, and sometimes we don't even think about them when we are doing them. Like this. When we wake up in the morning, some of us will make our beds. We will tidy our beds, tidy our rooms to make sure they are nice and clean for the day. That is a good habit, making sure that your room is clean and tidy. But some people have a bad habit. They would not make their bed for the day. They would leave it in a mess. Sometimes they leave plates in their rooms and leave toys all over the ground. All of those things are bad habits. So, those are things we don't even think about. When we wake up in the morning, we don't think about making our beds. We just do it. Some people don't do it at all. So that would be a bad habit. Practicing good habits is important. And if we practice good habits, eventually we will break the bad habits. So if you have a bad habit of not making your bed, and you start practicing making your bed every single day, eventually you wouldn't have to think about it. You will just do it. You would wake up in the morning and you would make up your bed without even thinking about it. So we can break the bad habits. Today we are going to talk about some habits that children have. Good habits and bad habits. So that's you all. Habits that you would have. Do you think you know any of your habits? Some of the things that you do all the time? Well, let's talk about some. We're going to talk about good habits and bad habits that we can change into good habits. Like, number 1, wearing your seatbelt in a moving car. So when mommy or daddy is driving, you should have your seatbelt on. Your seatbelt protects you. If mommy or daddy gets in an accident, you will be safe if you are wearing your seatbelt. Some of us have a booster seat or a special seat in the back of the car, and that's where we sit. And mommy would tell you to put on your seatbelt. Doing that is a good habit. But if you don't put on your seatbelt, that is a bad habit. So maybe we should start wearing our seatbelts if we have a bad habit of not wearing them. Next we have number 2, which is stealing. Sometimes we steal things. Maybe we steal 25 cents from the table, or we steal a cookie from the cookie jar without asking anybody. And yes, those are small things. But sometimes we will steal so many small things that those small things turn into big things, like stealing mommy and daddy's wallet and taking money from it. That's something bad. So stealing is a bad habit. Or taking a lot of cookies from the cookie jar. That would be a bad habit too. So stealing is bad. But asking for it or asking mommy or daddy to get it for you would be a good habit instead of stealing it on your own. And we have number 3, opening the door for strangers. Sometimes we would open our gate or our door if someone comes and says they want to talk to mommy or daddy. Instead of opening the gate or door, you should run and go tell mommy or daddy that a stranger is at the gate or at the door. If you open the door for strangers, they can hurt you. So that would be a bad habit. Instead, tell mommy or daddy. That would be a good habit. Now let's look at some more good habits. So this is a chart that's all about good habits. Here we have a little girl brushing her teeth. Now we brush our teeth every day. Some of us 1 time for the day, some of us 2. We should be brushing our teeth 2 times a day. Brushing your teeth every day is a good habit. It helps you to keep up your dental hygiene. You will always have fresh breath and clean teeth. So you should brush your teeth every day. And this is something we don't even think about. We just know that we have to do it. So this means that brushing our teeth is a habit, something we do. Just like taking a bath every day. Some of us take a bath 2 times a day, some of us 3 times a day. Taking a bath every day is important. Our body has an odor, it smells. So we need to take a bath every day or 2 baths a day to make sure that our body is clean. This is something we don't think about either. We just know we need to take a shower. That's something we do when we wake up and when we go to bed. Here we have saving money. Saving money is a good habit. Some of us have a piggy bank just like this, and we save our money. And then when Christmas comes, we can use that money to buy ourselves a toy. Wouldn't that be nice? So saving money is a good habit. Here we have fighting. Fighting is a bad habit. So not fighting is a good habit. We should not fight. There are other ways to solve things, like working them out or talking to your friends. Instead of fighting over a toy or fighting with each other, even with your brothers and sisters, you should not fight with your siblings. So fighting is bad. Here we have going to sleep on time. If we go to sleep very late at night, we are very tired in the morning. So we should go to sleep on time so that we are not tired, so that we can do our schoolwork. We're not sleepy and yawning. Some of us go to bed too early and we wake up 3 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the morning. That's a little too early. So going to sleep on time is a good habit and it's very important. Picking up and packing away your toys. Cleaning up your mess after you make it is very important. You should pack away your toys just like this boy here. It keeps your room clean, it keeps your house clean, and people don't get hurt. They don't step on your toys or trip over your toys. So you should pick up your toys. Here we have defacing property. That's a big word that means coloring on the walls, coloring on your desk, writing all over. Those things are defacing. We have paper, coloring books. Use those instead. Defacing property is a bad habit. Does anybody color on their mommy's wall here? That's very bad. You should not practice that habit. That's a bad habit. But if you use paper or your coloring book, that would be a good habit. Sitting too close to the television. The television can ruin our eyes. Then you will have to wear glasses like Auntie. And you don't want that. So you should not sit too close to the television. You should sit far back on the couch and look at the television from there. This is very unsafe and it is a bad habit. Now let's go over here and we're going to look at some more habits. Do your homework. Doing your homework and your schoolwork is a good habit. You should do your schoolwork every single day. Doing your schoolwork makes you very smart and it helps you to do better in school. If you give mommy or daddy trouble to do your schoolwork, then that means you are not going to be getting smarter. You have to do your schoolwork and it will help you. So doing your homework and schoolwork is a good habit. Just like this little girl here. She's not giving any troubles. She's doing her work. Do not litter. We should not throw our garbage on the ground. That's not nice. We are littering our homes and our communities. Instead, use the garbage bin to throw your garbage. Do not lie. Lying is a bad habit. Lying and telling stories, that's not nice. You should always tell the truth. And lastly, do not waste water. You should not leave the water running. When you finish brushing your teeth or washing your hands, you should take off the water. Don't waste the water. So all of these are good habits, things that we should do. Do you do any of these good habits? Okay, let's look at our activities. Our first year students have a habit. Let's see if it's a good habit or a bad habit. Save water and electricity. So we see a picture of a mommy quarreling with a boy, telling him that the light is on and no one is in that room. The water is running and falling onto the ground. So he's also wasting water. So we must save water and electricity. That's very important because those things are expensive. Mommy and daddy have to pay for the electricity and the water, our lights and water. So we must save water and electricity when no one is in that room. So today you are going to be tracing an entire sentence. Save water and electricity. So let's go ahead. It's not just one word or two words. It's a whole sentence. So we're moving forward. We're going to start with the word save. And it's an uppercase letter S. We start at the top, go around to the bottom with a little kick at the back. A is short. We go around, up and down. V goes down on an angle, up on an angle. E goes across, up and around. We have W, and it's not round, it's straight. Down, up, down, up. A goes around, up and down. T goes all the way down because it's tall, and we cross at the top of the broken line. E goes across, up and around, and R goes down, up and over. So let's continue. A goes around, up and down. N goes down, up and over. And D is like an A, but with a long stick, a tall stick. And the last word, electricity. We have E. L is tall, start at the top, go down. E again, you start here, go across, up and around. C. T is tall again. Look at all the tall letters touching the top line. R goes down, up and over. I. C. I again. T again, which is tall. At the top, go down and cross. And Y is a hanging letter. Down, up, back down with a tail. So save water and electricity. Our second year students have telling the truth. We should always tell the truth. That's a good habit. The sentence says, when something bad happens, always tell the truth. So the boy here, he was playing and he broke Mommy's vase. So he told Mommy the truth. Telling the truth is always better. You should not lie. If you know you did something wrong, tell the truth. It's always better to do that. Let's sound out our sentence. And it's a long one. W-H-N. W-H is a blend that makes the sound W. We don't really hear the H sound. W-N. When. S-O-M-F. S-O-M. S-O-M. And we break the word here. Some. T-H-I-N-G. TH makes the sound th, and ing goes ing. Remember? Th-ing. Thing. Something. Something. B-a-d. B-a-d. Bad. H-a-p-p-n. H-a. And we have one P sound. H-a-p-n. Happens. A-l-w-a-y. All. All. W-a-y. W-a-y. Ways. Always. T-l-l. T-l. Tell. And we have the word the. This is a sight word, an important one. The. T-r-o. T-h. T-r. Tr-o-th. Tr-u-th. Truth. So we have when something bad happens, always tell the truth. When something bad happens, always tell the truth. So those were two habits that we should practice.
Tony. Putting on my clothes, washing my face, eating my meals, cleaning my room. I can do it by myself. I can put on my clothes. I can do it by myself. I can put on my socks. I can do it by myself. Look how nice and neat I am. I can do it by myself. Don't you agree? I can do it well. Thumbs up. I can wash my face. I can do it by myself.
today's activity, we will be reading some 3-letter words. 3-letter words have 3 letters. By now, most of you should be able to identify all of the sounds in 3-letter words and start pulling the sounds together as well. Now, some children, they would remember the last 2 sounds but forget to include the first sound. So it tends to be a little difficult. I know most children by now know how to read all of these 3-letter words because they are simple. And most 3-letter words are straight to the point, meaning that the sound of the letters stay the same. Like in the word orange, lots of letters in that word don't make the real sound. Like the G, it makes a J sound. But in cat, we have K, A, T, the real sound of the letters. So it's easy to pull the sounds together and to read these words. Here on your paper, you have 7 different 3-letter words. And you have objects. Let's see if you can read these words on your own without anyone sitting with you. I want to see how independent you are. You should be able to get this sheet in front of you to start and to complete it without anyone helping you. So let's see. On the board, I have 6 different ones. You have 7 here and I have 6 here. We'll do mine together. Now we need to read the first 3-letter word. We are going to identify the sounds, not the letters. T, E, N. Now a child who does not know all of their letters and letter sounds will have difficulty doing this activity because it's very difficult to pull sounds together if you have to sit and think about what sound comes next. Like if a child does not know E goes E, so they will say T, N, T, N. That doesn't help. So you want to make sure your child is able to know all of the letters and letter sounds. So it's easy to pull the sounds together. T, E, N. Off the bat, a child can identify the sounds. T, E, N. T, E, N. T, N. Now some children will just say N and forget T. T, N, T, N, T, N, 10. 10. So we have to say it faster and faster and faster. 10, 10, 10. And the number 10 is a 1 and a 0. So I would match the number 10 to the word 10. Here we have P, A, N. So we said it slowly. P, A, N. P, A, N. P, A, N. P, A, N. Pan, pan. Like a frying pan. Here we have S, A, D. S, A, D. Sad, 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 sad. Sad. And we can match it to the boy that looks sad. Now, some children will listen for you to say the sounds for them. So they would identify, for example, in this one, T or P. They will tell you that, but then they would wait for you to help them pull the sounds together. We don't want that. For a child to figure it out on their own, they need to use their mouth to say the sounds. It's easier that way and they will figure it out faster if they say it themselves. T or P. T or P. T or P. T or P. Top. Top. Like a toy top. K or P. K or P. K or P. K up. K up. Cup. Cup. A cup to drink from. And m-at. 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 Mat. Like a welcome mat. So you see how I did that? I identified the sounds, said them faster, and pulled them together to be able to read the 3-letter words. Let's see if you can do this by yourself. Not listen to mommy do it, but do it on your own.